Yo, what up, friends? Speaking of people pushing their boundaries and kind of stepping over the line, a couple of weeks ago, we saw LeBron James confront Stephen A. Smith on the court because Stephen A. Smith had talked about his son, although Stephen A. Smith is only in basketball format. While LeBron thought it was a little over the line, he confronted him in Los Angeles in front of all of the cameras at the end of the game. There was no actual confrontation, although if you watched the Bottom Line Sports yesterday, Hot Take Jake said his hot take of the week is that there will be a celebrity boxing match between LeBron and Stephen A. in the next 5 years. What do y'all think about this craziness that's going on? And by the way, let me add, LeBron was on Pat McAfee yesterday talking crap about Stephen A. Stephen A. was on First Take this morning responding and talking about crap about LeBron. So it's elevating. It's elevating. To go first? Bayo, go ahead. You look like you ready. Go ahead, Bayo. What do you think about that?
I would say I was looking up some of the topics of our discussion today. And the one thing that I think is always a huge mistake with some of these celebrities is they let somebody videotape them during their workout. And it's never a good look. I saw Stephen A. Smith throwing some attempted uppercuts, and I would say, I'm not a big LeBron fan, but I will say the guy's in pretty good shape, got a pretty good reach, and I think he's got at least almost a foot on the guy. So, unless they're bringing back Celebrity Deathmatch and this claymation, I would tell Stephen A. Smith maybe just to kind of back down on this one. Everybody knew that Bronny was trash. Everybody knew that LeBron what's that term that they use? Nepotism. Right? Yeah. The nepotism came in, and basically he owned the fact that, but you know what? As a father, you always got to defend your kid. Like, you can't just let somebody talk shit about your kid.
What's the alternative? Just let him sit there and talk shit the whole time? Yeah.
But I mean, what's talking shit, Wheby, and what's actual talking about basketball? Where does that line get crossed?
He's not. You've watched Stephen A. Smith. You see, he's a professional shit talker. He's not talking about sports. He's shit talking, and that's fine. That's what he does. That's what people like to see. So there are people that like to watch that. Talk your shit. They're never going to have a celebrity boxing match because I don't think either of them are going to run out of money anytime soon. So they don't need any kind of,
That was my answer to Hot Take Jake. I said they're too rich for that. Why would they do that? But I also thought about Bayo, and I said if we had MTV still, we might have some celebrity death match going on up in here. Clubber D, what do you think?
Well, I personally, looking at what Stephen A. has said, I don't think he was malicious in anything he was saying. He was just saying what everyone else knows and knows his facts about his son being drafted and him not really being ready for the league. So I thought that was pretty obvious.
Right.
LeBron, you can have thicker skin and not do that. But again, you're saying you want to back up for your child. Your child is a grown man now, and he's in a grown man league. When LeBron was 18 and he got into a scuffle, his mom came over there and he told his mom, sit your ass down. If y'all don't remember that.
Boom.
So
I do remember that.
You can't act like that didn't happen to him. And he told his mom,
that did happen.
This is our business. You know what I'm saying? Bronny can bounce back and say something back to him. You know what I'm saying? So, but to confront him, I just didn't see anything that was like confront worthy for him to be like, hey, nah, I gotta see Stephen A. Smith for what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's I thought it was lame. But I like the fact that LeBron, he came out, he's talking shit about everybody now, which is pretty cool. Because he's at the point in his career, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to, talk about whoever, and they're not gonna do anything about him because he's already an icon, he's a superstar, he's one of the GOATs, he's whatever you want to call him. So I like the fact that he's coming out now, going on all these shows and going on like a little press tour of not giving a fuck. I give him credit for that.
I think once you put on a French maid's outfit, at that point, you've kind of crossed that line of like caring what people think about you. I mean,
that is true.
It's just something that I'm going to point out. Like, I mean, as a dude, I feel like you kind of lose that credibility unless you're doing something on screen. If you're in a female outfit and you're not, getting paid for it. I mean, we know Martin Lawrence did the Shanae. Jamie Foxx did the I'm Ready to Go. We know that some of our favorite icons have dressed up as female, but nothing like that.
Duck it out. The bullets are getting fired. Bayo out here firing mad bullets. That's what it's supposed to be. I don't know.
But then also, I feel like as a parent, you gotta be real with yourself. Like, where does the delusion come into play? Like, if you know your kid is ass, right? Like, I know my son's caliber. Okay, on the baseball field, I can compare my son to other players. You see what happens. As a professional basketball all-star, MVP, Olympic, caliber player. As a father, you should know, like, my son's not really ready for the league, and I should have did a little bit more work with him so that the name isn't tarnished. Because at this point, the James name dies with LeBron.
See, I think differently on that, Bajo. I'm gonna push you on that a little bit.
Really?
Like,
okay.
If Bronny is not garbage, he's not NBA starting player.
Great. He's not David Flair.
But when he's in the G League, he dominates the G League. And if I was 74 years old or however old LeBron James is, I was about to retire, and my son had an opportunity to spend a year playing with me, you're goddamn right I'm going to tell him to bring him up. Yeah, I'm going to spend a year with him on the road, teach him how to check in, how to dodge these hoes, how to make sure you get up in time to do what you. Yeah, you're damn right. I'm going to spend a year doing that. So there's some other jabroni that could be out there in the last minute of a blowout too, and that guy's going to do the exact same thing that Bronny's doing. So there's no harm.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah, as a father,
you do the same if you had that opportunity for a year or two. That's
absolutely. I can agree with that. It's every father's goal to prepare your son for the trials and tribulations of life and what's going to come, because you never know how long you're going to be around. So Weeby's got a good point. The league's going to try to
burst himself.
Yeah, exactly. The league's gonna try to fuck with you. The hoe's gonna try to fuck with you. The contracts are gonna try to fuck with you. Like, I want you to see it now, because when I'm out and you're in, you're gonna be the one handling that. So,
and let's talk about that, because Cameron and Mace were talking about it on It Is What It Is yesterday about Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver from the Kansas City Chiefs, and how he's getting extorted by his high school girlfriend now. And they was saying, well, you need to be smarter than that. Obviously, you ain't from the hood. You don't know that they be trying to rob these star players when they're 12 years old, trying to take a baby from them, whatever kind of thing. What do y'all think about that?
As far as the women or like the dudes?
I mean, whatever you want to touch on that. Like, I mean, the way Cameron and Mace were talking about it is that dudes got to be smarter about women, but also they were like, well, if you're not from the hood, you're not getting pursued like that.
I thought his was a little different, because she basically was allegedly toting the line of domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? And a lot in that, when false claims and things like that happens a lot with these athletes. I forgot the dude's name who played for Baylor, who's defensive end. He's going to be what is his name? He's a big dude, defensive end. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's in the Canadian Football League, but he could have had an NFL career. But they thought.
Are you talking about the gay guy, Michael Sam?
No, he's not. No, he was. Talking about. I said the dude from Baylor, who was a defensive end, and he got the domestic violence charge, and he had to go to the CFL and all that stuff. And then come to find out years later that he didn't do anything. There's been a lot of people where that domestic violence, it did or didn't happen, but the person lied and they ruined their career. So that's what I thought that's what she did to him, and try to kind of get money out of him, and then say, if you didn't give me the money, or I'll say you beat me, or did some stuff like that. I think hers was kind of like that. So
you would
extortion.
You would think that at this point, like, if I ever reach celebrity status, anyone, you might as well just buy yourself a pair of prescription meta glasses, so you can body cam record everything. So there's something like this goes down. It's like, look, Your Honor, I got it on film. Like, there wasn't nothing sketchy about it. She hit herself with the oranges, like the chick from Thin Line from Between Love and Hate. Like, you know what I mean? Because too many athletes are getting pegged, no pun intended, by the law, because it's all on the word of a woman saying, hey, this happened, that happened. You can use Jonathan Majors as a good example. Jonathan Majors was a good example of that. He had some fetishes, but he didn't do anything harmful to this lady.
He admitted that he hit her.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he admitted it. Yeah, they got him on tape saying that.
Yeesh. Well, I retract that statement. what I would say is a pair of Meta glasses wouldn't hurt. But yeah, Cameron and those guys were right. Like, especially like everybody knows you get into the league, you're here to chase money and girls, fame, status. You might as well be smart about it because the money, like Wheby said, the money's gonna run out. Nobody gets paid on endorsements forever. That's why you see a lot of these guys becoming news anchors or whatever it is, because it's like, yo, I realized I only got about 2-3 years of this finance left, so I better pick something up. But yeah, at this point, if you're getting gamed on by girls on some sex shit, that's kind of like on you, man. They're right. Like be better than dumb. It's an age-old game.
Yeah,
if only his dad was in college with him.
Dude, I'm talking about Omar, Sean Oakman.
That was the big dude that had like the 12 pack.
Yes, the big dude from Baylor.
The first guy off the bus.
He's like he's going to be in the Heisman that one year. He's going to be like a top 5 pick, and then that domestic violence charge found out she didn't do it. Years later, now he's in the CFL, barely hanging on to a tail end of his football career.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that she's trying to get this money right before the draft. I mean, that's you fall 3 spots in the draft. That's $1.5 million out of your pocket immediately. That's tough. I don't know what happened with them, but
Larry Tunsil got extorted too. Remember him with the whole gas mask weed the day of his draft.
He fell from he was supposed to be at 5 and he fell to like 15 or something like that.
That's a different type of extortion where your own people do that stuff to you. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst part. I get it. I get a female heat of the moment, like the chick who threw herself down the stairs, said that offensive lineman did it, and then couldn't find out because of the video evidence he didn't do it. Then your own homie being like, "Oh, I got pictures of this guy doing X, Y, and Z. I want to sell it or give me money." Like that's I gotta watch your circle.
Yep. I bet Bayo wishes he didn't send us all those pictures of him at the Diddy party. I bet he wished we didn't.
Listen, it up. Even Denzel was at the Diddy party. I left when Denzel left. Okay, I took the cues. I was like, yo, Unc is leaving. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm not. Y'all know I'm never gonna miss a good party. I'm never gonna miss a good party. But hey, like Denzel says, you can be at the party. You just gotta leave before the devil get there.
That's not what I heard. I heard you was slipping sliding in the baby oil.
Hey, yo.
That's what I heard. Hey yo.
We're gonna leave it as speculation.
Yeah.
Did you guys already touch on the Virginia Tech player who killed that Tinder date? Have you guys spoken about that already?
No, we can right now. You brought it up. Let's go. What are you talking about?
Well, I guess I would say if we're talking about getting, having opportunity and then blowing it, that Virginia Tech player, I think this is how you pronounce the name, Isimeme Etute.
Well, hold on, time out. Before that happened last year, and he's bounced back. So he's going to another college, but it did hurt him at that time. That happened, I think, year before last. He's from 757.
I believe it. I feel like that was on him, though. I had a buddy ask me how I felt about that, and I said, honestly, in today's day and age, that dude should have just took that as an L. Like, if you're out here being sexually promiscuous with people, you might want to do a little bit more due diligence, ask a couple more questions. You know what I'm saying?
The story was he met this individual, and the person was like, come and get some dome. I'm not going to be too graphic on here. And the lights were off. He did it one time, then left, and then came back again. And then I guess when the lights were on, he's like, I want to see you type deal. Found out that it was somebody that peaked standing up with a wig on and dress and stuff. And then he decided, he enraged, beat the living crap out that grown man. And killed him. And he got off on everything and then just transferred to another school. I think he's still playing football now. I think he's playing this year. I think that happened like a year or two ago, something like that. But I remember that
a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an 18-year-old thinking with, his head, just the other one. So
yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject, man. Definitely is. I think that there's a lot of lack of concern for human life. That was definitely a pride and an embarrassment moment. And I guess when your pride is shot like that, you can claim insanity, something to this effect. But
I mean, so are we saying the same thing about when Eddie Murphy picked up the transvestite, or what are we talking about?
Oh no, I mean that was by choice.
Yeah, that was different. That's Eddie.
And in Hollywood,
so are we saying Eddie didn't know then, or are we saying Eddie knew? Is there proof on this? Because I didn't ever hear.
That was like we were like freaking 15 when that happened. Like,
well, no, no, I know, but I saw today, and I saw today on social media on X. There was a post that said 15 years ago, Eddie Murphy picked up a transvestite. Never
today,
was it only 15? No, lower than that.
I might have been 20. I don't know. Yeah.
But I mean, that college kid, I mean, that was just, you know, I'm glad he's at a new school. Hopefully he plays and kind of, you know, puts that behind him, because going up for a murder charge at that age.
Yeah, second degree murder. They charged him with second degree. He got off on that. I would say on the Eddie thing, that was Eddie probably on one of his, you know, nights. We know he's had some wild nights. And I think on some of those nights in Hollywood, you make some bad choices. Hopefully there was no camera inside that.
I'm sure. I mean, Johnny Gill had
Clubby, Derek Clubber D. Blade
playing games. They were playing Beyblades.
Subscribe on YouTube at Ball and Buds for sports and entertainment.